Welcome to Sunday Mornings with Enlightenism. I'm Brother Malcolm.
And I'm Sister Carolyn.
And we are here with you today to share Enlightenism insights about a new way to think and live.
A new way to think and live.
Change how you think and live. Enlightenism is the greater power within you.
Absolutely.
It is consciousness, and God is consciousness. Sister Carolyn is going to get us started. She is an Enlightenism practitioner, teacher, workshop facilitator, and a lady on a mission to change how she thinks and live. She's going to share some of those wonderful insights with you today, and I trust that they will benefit you in all that you do today. Here's Sister Carolyn to get us started with Enlightenism, a new way to think and live.
Thanks, Brother Malcolm. Thank you. I am Sister Carolyn, Enlightenism teacher, consciousness practitioner. That is who I am everywhere I go, and in everything that I be, do, and say. And today, as always, my topic is Enlightenism, a new way to think and live by honoring the consciousness that is within you. And I'd like to share with you when I was a little girl growing up, my father used to play a lot of music, and he would usually play it on Saturday when he was off and the family was around. And he was a musician before he married my mom, and of course, then he stopped being a musician when he married her, because I guess he felt he had to get a regular job and just raise a regular family. But his love for music never stopped. And so I acquired the sense and the feeling of music from him and my mom because she loved it too. And this past week I was listening to a song. I usually like to listen to lots of songs, and typically the songs that I like have feelings and they contain stories about feelings, because what I know is that with Enlightenism, we talk about a new way to think, a new way to be, a new way to live. It is about the feelings that we sometimes have learned to ignore. And music always seems to enliven my spirit. And so I was listening to this song by Patty Austin and James Ingram. How do you keep the music playing? And there was a time in my life that romantic song would have been about Brother Malcolm. That song would have been about my meaning and my words to him. But the song has a deeper meaning for me now, because the process for me is Enlightenism. And the song says, how do I keep the music playing? How do I make it last? When all of these things are coming up to change in a relationship, and they sort of terminate the song by saying, if you keep the memory and you remember what brought you into the relationship, will keep you there. And what I know is that what brought me into Enlightenism is for a new way to think and live. And I know that in my life I am changing every day. And when the song says, how do I keep the music playing? How do I make it last? That for me is Enlightenism. Enlightenism is my song. And for me to keep the song of Enlightenism playing within me. It is about remembering who I am. And I don't have to change my way of being when something happens that I don't like. What I have to remember is that this consciousness, this unconditioned consciousness that I call Enlightenism, has been within me from the day I was born. I know that I was born whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless, and have everything that I will ever need for the journey. And when I know that, I can hear the music of Enlightenism crescendo in my head. I know what I have to do to keep the music playing, the music of Enlightenism. I know what I am about. I know that I am whole, perfect, and complete. I know that I don't have to compare myself to anyone or anything. The only thing that I have to know is that I am always okay. The only thing that I have to know is that I have everything within me that I will ever need for the journey. I am not lacking in anything. And when I'm lacking in anything, it might be compassion. It might be because the love isn't showing up. It might be because the self-reliance that I was born with is not showing up. I know in this mode when toxicity is showing up. I know when the otherness that I have learned is showing up. I know that Enlightenism is my therapy. It is my spiritual connection with myself. I will always know what I feel. And I don't have to get an approval from anyone for how I feel. The only approval that I need is from myself. I know that I was not put here to hurt anyone. I know that. So when I go beyond and I do something that causes someone pain, I'm well aware of that. And since it is not my intent, I know what to do if I have done that. Because in this guidepost, in this consciousness that I live, I know that that consciousness is not about hurting anyone. It is not about being right. It is not about comparing myself. When I know that I am whole, and the only fragmentation that comes into my life comes from my belief system that I was taught by others, I know that I can keep the music playing. I know the music of Enlightenism continues to play throughout and until time is no more for me. I know what I am about in this life that I live. Brother Malcolm and I bring you this program. This program of Enlightenism is the music that is playing. The program of Enlightenism is what you are born with. You are whole, perfect, and complete, faceless, formless, and colorless, and have everything that you will ever need for the journey. And when that is not happening, then I know the music is not playing loud enough for me to hear. So how do I keep the music playing? I keep the music playing by knowing that I am an enlightenist. I am an enlightenist. I am about a new way to think, feel, and be. I am about a new way to communicate. I am about a new way in bringing honor to my life and the others that come into my life. It is not about what I was taught. It is about this knowingness that is within everyone. When we have these feelings, we don't need to ignore them. We just need to keep the music playing by knowing who we are. Knowing that I am greater than the I that I created. That keeps the music playing. I know that I am self-reliant. That keeps the music playing. And when we think about keeping the music playing, we think about Enlightenism. How do I keep the music of Enlightenism playing? What do I do in this day? When you know that you awake without any struggle, when you know that your day is what you're responsible for, and your words are what you're responsible for, the music is playing. When you are angry, the music is not playing. And you know what you have to do to get the music playing again, to start the music of Enlightenism playing again. I know when I say, I am Carolyn Kelly, Enlightenism teacher and consciousness practitioner, that keeps the music playing. I know that I am an Enlightenism, that I am Enlightenism, that I am an Enlightenist, as well as carrying the song of Enlightenism. So in this day, you began this day by knowing who you are, knowing what you can do to bring about Enlightenism in everything that you do, be, and say. It is now time for Brother Malcolm to bring his piece to Enlightenism, to bring his song to Enlightenism. So I give you Brother Malcolm, philosopher, speaker, and creator of Enlightenism, Brother Malcolm.
Thank you so much, Sister Carolyn, for those wonderful insights.
You're quite welcome.
To get us going, folks. I'm all wearing to go.
Absolutely.
She has me wearing to go, and I trust that all of you are too. I'm Brother Malcolm, author and philosopher, and advocate for Enlightenism. The greater power of God is within each one of us as consciousness, and that's why we can say God is omnipresent. God is everywhere. It's a piece of God is in all of us. Consciousness. But when we move away from this piece of us, this consciousness within us, and we believe God is somewhere else, then we lose sight of the power that we have within ourselves. The kingdom of heaven is within the individual. This was said thousands of years ago by Jesus the Christ. The kingdom of heaven is within. And what is within? Consciousness. Heaven is consciousness. It's not a place, a physical place. We are here in a form with a finite lifespan. But we are greater than what we are aware of being in the form. And that's what I am talking to you about today. The greater power that you have within you, not to think and live as a victim in the United States of America. When we believe that we are victims and that the absence of God in us makes us victims, then we seek to find God somewhere else. Someone else wants to say, this is how you find God. Our message is very clear today. God is within you as consciousness. You live forever. The consciousness has no beginning and no end to it. It is consciousness. And contrary to what many people have said, and it's a very popular statement, that if you don't remember your past, then you're condemned to repeat it. And I say just the opposite. Knowing the past makes you susceptible to repeating it. People that know the past repeat the past from one generation to the next. There's no real change that is happening in your life because you know the past. What is important is to know yourself and what is happening to you in the present moment and how much power you have to overcome the beliefs and values in your life. Enlightenism is a new way to think and live. It's a new way. It's a freedom. It's a freedom philosophy of freedom in the present moment so that you can say to yourself all the time, I am greater than the person that I am aware of being. I am greater than the conditions in my life. I am greater than the beliefs that I used from others in the past to create my awareness of being who I am today. I am greater because I have a powerful mind. And no one can take my greatness from me. I must give it to someone. I must give it to someone. I must abdicate my responsibility as a powerful person and begin thinking of myself as someone who is struggling for freedom. Freedom is in the mind. Heaven is in the mind. And God is in the mind. In the consciousness. It exists within us as consciousness. The kingdom of God is within you, if you want to call it a kingdom. I don't like the word kingdom because it connotes some of the things that was coming with King James version of interpretation of the scriptures. Because he was a king. You want to think about a kingdom. We're not talking about a kingdom. We're talking about consciousness. We're talking about a heavenly place within you, where there is consciousness within you and where God dwells within you today, alive, and has been with you since you were born into this world, in this form, and will always be with you until you take your last breath as a human being. Will never leave you, but when you detach yourself from this understanding about the power being within you, then you transfer the power to someone else. And someone else is telling you God is somewhere else, unknown to you. So you can't feel a closeness, a connection to God. So when you're praying far away, or being far away from you, not in you. You're not a victim. And you're not powerless. And your race and color does not define you, nor your religion, or your age, or your gender, or your status, or education. That is not who you are. That is who the world says that you are. The world is saying to you, this is the person that you are. And then you're believing it. When I say you, I'm talking about all of us. Then we'll believe in that, hey, I'm this person. I'm powerless. Stop struggling to be yourself, because you don't have to struggle to be you. You struggle to be someone else that someone has told you that you should be. But you don't have to struggle to be you. To be who you were created to be divinely. God is in you. I know, hey, it may be difficult to believe it because sometimes you feel powerless, sometimes you feel like a victim, sometimes you don't believe that you can do things in life, and you think God is far away. And then you act that way. So when you're praying, you're acting as if the power is not in you, it's somewhere else. And you are, and typically people are begging for things and not accepting that you already have it. That which you pray for, you already have it. It is given to you every day. This power expresses itself in your life every day in your life, and you ignore it. We ignore the power because we want God to be the way somebody else has told God to be. That's what we want. We typically want God to be the way the world has defined God. And the way the world has defined God is an illusion. A human creation. Humans cannot create God. You don't have that kind of power. You may want to think that you can because we think we can create everything. God exists as it is. And God is in you today. Regardless of how you feel. When you see another person, and that person may be expressing something that you think is painful, or they may be suffering with some type of illness, God is within that person. The God consciousness is within that person. And if the person could elevate the mind to tap into the awareness of being one with God, then the power is restored in that moment. In the moment that you can acknowledge that this power is in you, then your power is restored. You're no longer a victim. And you stop following the crowd. The world is the crowd. That's what we're following. So with the man dying on the cross, the man being Jesus Christ, dying on the cross, and uttering in some of his last words as reported by other people. I wasn't there. So what other people were saying, I have conquered the world. Well, obviously he hadn't conquered Rome, because Julius Caesar was still ruling Rome. So he hadn't conquered Rome. So what had he conquered in the world? The illusions about who he is. That's what he's talking about. You conquer the illusions about the greater power in you. That is the world. The world that has told you that you are of a certain race and color and all of these things that we get caught up in. And then we believe that's who we are. And then we begin to try to contact this greater power that we have removed out of our lives. We removed the power out of us and transferred it to another place where we can't find it. So then everybody has a different interpretation, a different definition about what it is based upon their beliefs that they received from someone else. So people have all kinds of conversations. I talked with God. I did such and such and such. God commanded me to go and preach and teach and so forth. And not realize that you're using somebody else's information. And when you have direct knowledge of the God within you, then you will know, as Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And the kingdom of heaven is consciousness. God is consciousness. Heaven is consciousness. And that consciousness is in you today. Embrace the power within you. And understand this power is omnipresent. Meaning it's in everyone. All of that stuff about status and education and all of these things, these are illusions that people want to get you distracted with so you don't feel good about yourself. So now you want to be like somebody else you heard about. Went to some university. Went to some university like Harvard or Yale, Cal, Berkeley, Stanford, something. You say, oh, they're great. No, you are the one that's great. You are the one that's great. You have this God-like power in you. No, you have a part of God in you. You have a part of God's consciousness in you. Act like it. Claim it. Discover it for yourself. And change how you think and live. I'm Brother Malcolm.
I'm Sister Carolyn.
And we are sharing the Enlightenism philosophy with as many people as we can. Have a great day. Check back with us another time. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks for listening.